Hi everyone, it's Heidi from flutterbyheidi.co.uk. I'm Heidi Smith, I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator based in the United Kingdom, and today I've created a little fold out box for a couple of the large tea lights. So these really big ones that last for a long time, and they come in all sorts of fragrances, and I just thought it was perfect to go in a little fold out box. I've seen versions of these around. I haven't seen one for this size of tea light, but feel free to correct me and I'll happily credit you if I'm wrong. But I just thought it was rather fun and lovely colours in this box. And I'm using the Sand and Sea Designer Series paper that you can see here. I'm going to use this pink one and Blushing Bride for this project, and it just uses only a small strip of the 12 by 12 paper, and they're beautiful double-sided designs with seashells on the one side, and then some lovely more muted and kind of sand effect and salt effect on the reverse. So mainly in Blushing Bride and Seaside Spray, but also with a bit of Melon Mambo, Flirty Flamingo, so saffron, and a bit of Sahara Sand in there as well. So that's the paper. I've decorated it using the stamps that come in the stamp set here, but I've also used this one here. So if you're buying the whole suite and you're thinking about spending a little bit more, or you're getting together with a group of friends, or you'd like to have a workshop party, then this is one of the things you can get with the rewards of sales of over £150, and it includes, it's a sweet sampler host stamp set, and they coordinate with Fine Art Floral, Dandy Garden, Hydrangea Hill, and as I say, the little sea and sand shell as well, which I thought was rather fun. If you want to know more about the suite itself, then if you have a look on my YouTube channel, you'll find a link there to a Facebook Live that I did on the whole suite, which showcases all the different projects that I'll be sharing with you over the coming weeks. Okay, so to start off with then, you're going to need your trimmer and a sheet of cardstock. And you want a piece that is 25.5 by 18 centimetres. So I've cut mine to that already. And on the short edge, you're going to score at 6, 8.5, 14.5 and 17 centimetres. And if you pop that to the top with the narrow bit at the top, you're going to score at, and I'm doing it all on this side. Normally I do my 2.5 on the other side, but this is at 2.5, at 8.5, and then this one at 11 centimetres, you're just scoring the top, you're not scoring this bottom section. 13.5, 19.5 and 24.5. Okay, so that's all the scoring done. You want to reinforce those score lines really well. I'm doing all of those ones on the short edge first. When you come to do the long ones, the only one you're not going to score is that one at 11 centimetres, because that in effect is our cutting line. Okay. So there's your piece of card, and what we're going to do is start cutting some various pieces away. So this section here is going to be our lid. So we want to keep that as it is. And I'm just going to cut down the side. So there's our little tab. And we're going to cut that. And that's going to be our little fold over tab. So you can cut that out slightly if you like. It just will help reduce some of the bulk. Okay. The next section we're going to cut away completely, but obviously keep that, that's perfect for punching our shapes from. go. And then this last one, again, we're going to just chamfer the edges slightly, cut away those long skinny bits, and across the top there as well. Okay. The next bit we're going to cut down is this section here. So where we've done that score line that wasn't all the way, you're going to cut down the length of it. And then at the end, let's just refold, we're then going to do tab and angle. This one keeps straight, and then another little tab, like so. Repeat that on the other side. So straight on this edge, but we're going to create a tab. So just see where you can press pause. This is where we are so far. We're going to cut away this little square here and create a tab. So just angle it slightly. And then our large ones, this one is going to be again kept complete. Angled tab. And then this final piece you're going to cut all the way across. So you should have a piece that looks like this. Okay. Now we need to add some DSP to it. So what I want you to think about, so what we're actually doing is, in effect, these are rolling, and then it's these outside pieces. So the two that you want are either side of the outside, and you want two pieces that are, I've already cut these, so cut a strip that is 5.7 centimetres from your 12 by 12 DSP, and then you just cut two pieces at 5.7, and those are going to go on there. You're going to cut one a piece that's 5.7 by 4.7 for the top, and then you want four pieces for the sides of our box. Now you could add more. I tend not to on this box because otherwise it can get a little bit bulky. So you can just add this with your Stampin' Seal. I'm just using up the last, I think this is pretty much the last of my snail. The lovely thing about this paper is it hasn't got a strong directional pattern, so you can just add it in. So just add those pieces. And what I will then do is punch the holes afterwards, because although it makes it a little bit more difficult because there is a layer of DSP, it's not too bad, and I just feel that that's better than trying to kind of poke it through after you've put your paper on, especially if you use a wet glue, it gets a bit soggy. So what we're going to do here is just take my ruler and just mark the middle of this here. So as you can see, it's 6 centimetres, so we're just going to mark at 3 and at 3 on here as well. And then with the edge of your Label Me Fancy punch, just pop it in. You have to mark it down here, that'd help. There we go. Until you can line up with the centre. And just make sure you're not poking out of that top edge. So line it up and punch, and then do the same on the other side. And you see I've deliberately, so there's my centre point mark, and I'm just lining that up underneath my punch, like so. And that just helps. Adding that, I mean, it's not essential. It will stay closed without, but because they're sort of quite heavy, they sometimes pops open. The other thing I meant to say was just either use a corner rounder or just take the edge off the edge of that flap as well. So now I'm going to come in with my Seal Plus, and we want to glue these side pieces down. So you can do it either way. You can either add it to the tab or you can add it to the edge. I prefer probably on this one adding it to the tab because I can then just fold over any little bits and just fold that up, even that nice and straight, like so. Sorry, that's my cat making an appearance. She is lovely, but not what I want right now. And then we're going to add a little bit of glue to these tabs here as well. If you want to, don't feel you have to. The easiest way is just to pop some on each end. Pop your finger in. So there we go. Again, and by keeping the edges square, it helps you with your box. And then again, just slide down. So we're going to end up with a box that looks like this. So it does close differently on each side, but that's just the way it is. So I just add my candle into each side. That then folds up. And what I've got, and this is where it's a little bit, you just need to, in effect, fold them together at the same time. I've just threaded a needle. She says, I haven't, my needle has now disappeared. Oh no, it hasn't, there we go. I've threaded. So all I'm going to do is just pop that through, just because it's easier, both of those. That's typical, isn't it? So, just a bit of baker's twine, and I'm just coming through both of those there. And I'm just going to fold that in. This one obviously I cut a little bit snug, just trim a tiny little bit more off your outside edge on those. You'll see it's just a really snug fit. Now I've already stamped and die cut and embossed some of the images from my seashells. And this is what I tend to do. I'll sort of, whatever, for the project I'm doing, I will stamp and emboss a whole outline. And then I can just, it means I've got some extra ones then if I need it. So I'll add that little shell in. And I was going to use, there we go, my seashell. So actually what I thought I might do is stamp that onto some Blush and Bride. So this is just using those scraps here. That's a little on the pale side. Actually, I'm going to do that on a piece of Whisper White. It's just a little bit too pale on there. There we go, that looks much better. And this is such a lovely shaped shell, but quite easy to cut out. So I'm just following the outline and just fussy cutting. All the way around. shaping those slightly. And then I'm also going to come in and just put a strip. So what I want to do is create my sentiment on there as well. So again, you can choose to do whichever colour you fancy, but I'll perhaps do a bit of contrast here with some seaside spray. And then just take one of the little shells and stamp that around the image so that when you punch it, you will see that you get a little of your shell showing around your For You. And then I can just take another little bit of a scrap of card. In fact, I'm even going to use the reverse of that piece that I didn't stamp on. There we go. And again, just pop in. Oh, I'm using my Seal Plus there, but creates our layer. And then it's just using a few dimensionals to pop that up on the front of your box. So we want some down the centre of that. We want to make sure that's nice and secure. Pop a big dimensional there, and again another one on the back of our shell. And whilst the box, looks pretty without, once you add your embellishments onto the front, you'll see that it just brings it to life just that little bit more. So there we have a pair of pretty large double tea light boxes ready for gifting that fold out to make it just a little bit more interesting. So, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy making yours, and I hope you enjoy playing with the Sand and Sea suite. I would really recommend it as a beautiful suite to work with. And do pop along to my blog, flutterbyheidi.co.uk, and you'll find all the links to the products there. And likewise, in the description bar below this video, there are links to my shop and to each of the products I've used as well. So come back and see me soon, hopefully without a cat interrupting next time, and bye for now.